This verse reminds us that we will fall often. Obviously, we're not perfect. We've made ourselves quite imperfect. We have to lift ourselves up multiple times, keep focusing and training our minds to get back in harmony with our trained dharmic intellect so that we can pursue that path of self-realization.
Now this verse also tells me that the fluctuations of the mind between craving and aversion, those are also inevitable. But with constant training of the mind, with having our higher self subjugate the lowly impulses of the mind, we can dampen the cravings and aversions, that endless, relentless cycle. And we can get to a place where the mind is calmer, when it is more focused, when it is more resolute, when it is more present in the day-to-day life that we lead. And that's the way to become more effective, to constantly remind ourselves that falling is not a failing, but rather failing to rise up is the real failing. Hari Om.
So, lift himself by his own self clearly indicates that we're talking about two different levels of self. One is a lower self that is identified with the body, mind, and the ego, and the other, a higher self that is identified with discrimination and is aligned with the true nature.
The verse goes on to say that your mind is your best friend, at the same time your mind is your best enemy. So in other words, when it's your best friend, you are conscious, you are attentive, you're focused, but at the same time when it's your enemy, you are judgmental, you are aggressive, you lash out and all these things. So how do we differentiate? In other words, you have to catch where you are. When you fall down, the most important thing is you have to rise back up.
Two key takeaways that we mentioned here, and that's what I want to leave you guys with here, which is the significance of training the mind to stay with the present moment. And then the second is, how do you reframe your purpose and goal in life? So do not make it like a static outcome-based goal. Make it dynamic action-based goal.
There could be two outcomes when you apply for a job. So it could be a favorable outcome and unfavorable outcome. So when there's a favorable outcome, what happens is, look, you think that your ego increases because you think because of your self-effort, the job is, you got a job. But there are so many other factors which we completely ignore. But there could be an unfavorable outcome also, so where you don't get a job. So in this case, you try to blame yourself, thinking that, okay, because I didn't prepare well, I didn't get a job, and because of this situation, you end up even doing the second part of the verse, like in inaction. So you get an attachment towards inaction. So I keep applying for a job, I never get in any interview, so why should even I apply for the job? So in this situation, so we end up losing the future job opportunities, and we lose all our self-esteem. Again, we get into anxiety and problems.
Every action, right, is divided into two stages. It has two stages. First stage is planning, and second stage is execution. So in the planning stage, we decide on what are the goals, what are the objectives, and what are the possible outcomes, right? Unless we know the possible outcomes and the results, we may not be able to kind of plan efficiently, right? Based on the possible outcomes, we'll craft our steps, right? So that we can act intelligently. But once the planning stage is done, we come to the execution stage. In the execution stage, we focus only on the action. That's when we should not think about results. We should not be worried about results. We should not be calculating about the success or failure while we are doing the action.
So it clearly captures the essence of the verse, duty first, no attachment to the results. Results are rewarded as a blessing, not a demand.
we can turn all our actions into an arpanam only if we do them with intense love, shraddha, humility, gratitude, and surrender to Bhagavan. Like a musician, depending on the tambur shruti, we should always tune our mind and hearts to Him.
When we give with the intention of offering to the Lord, the divine, the heart becomes lighter, as the previous speaker has said. The mind becomes clearer and the ego becomes quieter. Hence we begin to live not from a place what I will give or what I will get, but how can I serve, which is the mission's one of the motto of the mission, to serve, seva.
And the purpose of tapas is to control your mind, body and senses, and conserve the energies by preventing them leaking through your body, mind and senses.
The important thing of this verse is you're not asking to renounce the action, but to renounce the ownership of the action. Because what happens when you do this sadhana is that you reduce the vasanas, which then becomes easier for do a dhyanam or a jnanam. And then by practicing that further and further, you try to reach samatvam. How does this affect our daily lives? Is that it reduces anxiety, stress, and depression, increases peace, contentment, and positivity, and makes life happier and healthier.
Like Prahlad displayed, it's not just the devotion to the Lord, it's devotion to only the Lord. It's not like he said, I'll worship Narayana and I'll also worship Hiranyakashipu. He's one is God, the other person is my dad. The other nuance to the word Ananyashintayanto is the unwavering, unperturbed, undistracted faith under all circumstances, even during adversity, and even during when his own life was in danger, multiple times by his own dad.
This stanza emphasizes seekers' spiritual practices with Ananya Bhakti. So in its purest form, it burns like a devotional fire in the heart of a Bhakta. So what is the goal of the Bhakta is to attain that God realization, that is oneness with the divine.
The Lord. This verse shows the supremacy of devotion as a direct pathway to the Lord, and that as long as you follow this pathway, He will provide for you and become responsible for you and your welfare. He will secure and procure your life together. Another point in today's modern world which we have to consider is, instead of if you have a single pointed focus, you're going to lead to success in every field of your life. But alas, man gets distracted and we try to put our finger in every pie.
What these two terms, they do influence, like I said, a shift in the state of mind from anxiety to trust, right? So instead of worrying about all the future need or protecting our possessions, if we focus on serving the divine, right, then the Lord indeed takes care of our future needs.
This verse, Ma Shuchaha, which means don't grieve. As a great guru, he starts teaching, addressing the grief, provides all the instructions to remove that grief, and ends the teaching with the assurance. Don't grieve, I will take care of you.
Dharmas. Just like eyes can see, the dharma of eyes is to see. And that is all attached to our BMI, our body, mind, and intellect.
So the perceiver, seeker, as well as thinker personality creates the individuality. So that expresses itself as self-asserting ego. So to develop the diligent introspection, we have to abandon these external tendencies of mind as well as this ego.
Krishna says that if you surrender
that guarantees you to take you to moksha.
And when you stop identifying with body, mind, and intellect, the papa is not there, or sin is, because the sin belongs to only body, mind, and intellect. If you stop identifying with body, mind, and intellect, all papas are released, right? So that's how basically you burn your past papas also. They don't get erased like data, right? It is neutralized because the owner is gone.
Moksha means liberation, which is free from birth, death, and rebirth. Realizing ourselves, the one self, the eternal soul, is not separate from the Brahman, and we are with it and we are union of it. There are different ways to attain moksha: Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Raja Yoga.
Do all of I said. You will evolve spiritually. As you progress, your identification with VMI will start to loosen. You contemplate on scriptural knowledge. Listen to it, contemplate on it, think about it. Surrender your ego to me and drop all identification with BMI. I will resolve all your anxieties and agitations caused by self-centered actions, and you will realize your true self within you, which is infinite bliss, Brahmananda. Fear not, I'm there. You will be taken care of.
Many years ago, there was a young girl, a student, whose father asked her to go for a lecture by a Swamiji. This was in Colombo, and that I was that student, and I really didn't want to go and listen to a Swamiji. And anyway, I went along, and when we went and sat there, Swamiji just walked in very majestically, just like you saw him yesterday. His speech was so eloquent. He got everybody so spellbound by what he was saying. And the important thing was, I was a student and I could understand and follow what he was saying. Was a young girl. And my father, who was a Vedantist, also was able to follow, not only follow, but he was also spellbound. So it reached everybody. But he came later home, and that's my dad and sister, my mom. They were blessed by his presence. He gave me a book of Gita, which coming here, then I started attending the study groups. So studying scriptures in depth and also interacting with the other members is very inspiring. So then yatras, I went on yatras. The yatra included meeting Swamijis and hosting them in our home. Thank you.
Hari Om, fellow seekers, Hari Om Bharti Ji. By the grace of Bhagwan and Guruji, I had the privilege of visiting many ashrams and visiting Swamis. I am from Fiji. I had no idea what was Vedanta, what was Upanishad. And 2018, I started the classes with her. My Acharya Ji is also from Niagara Falls, Vijay Ji, Vivek Ji's father. So we attend a lot of classes. And my first yatra, my first trip was in India in 2023, when Acharya Ji from Niagara Falls took 49 of us, all seekers, with my husband, my son from New Zealand, to the yatra. I spent 2 weeks in Prayagraj ashram, And I am told by my Acharya ji that in Vanprasth era, every individual should make an effort to spend 1 month out of the 12 months, that means 1 month in a year, to stay in an ashram, do the seva, connect with the Swamijis as much as you can, because we are not going to be in this world forever. In 2025, when I was I went to another second yatra with Acharya ji, this time a smaller group like 25 people, and it was Mahakumbh Mela, and everyone knows what is Mahakumbh Mela. And the crowd was so huge, but with the grace of God, we chanted Hanuman Chalisa every day. As soon as our journey started in the bus, we started chanting. We had no difficulties going through the Sangam, taking a dip, no problems at all. I'm very blessed, and I always look forward to receiving blessings from all the Swamis. So my vacation is not a vacation to enjoy, but to seek blessings as well. Hari Om. Thank you.
Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, in half a shloka I'll tell you the entire truth of Vedanta. Ardha slokena pravakshami yaduktam grantha kotivihi. What is said in crores of scriptures I will tell you in half a shloka. Brahma satyam jagan vidya jivo brahmaiva na para. Brahma eva satyam jagat nitya. The world that we see is an appearance, and the reality is only one, and that one is Brahman alone. There is nothing called Jiva.
Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My name is Mukund. I had a lot of questions about why we did the prayers, what our different things meant, and I kind of went along with it, but I didn't quite understand why. I didn't know the language, and I didn't have the opportunity to attend Chinmaya Mission in Balihar as a kid. And when I was in college, the questions grew even more, and my friend gave me some books from Chinmaya Mission. This led me to a number of camps across the country as a young college student, somebody who had just graduated from college. And this finally, my wife and I, we decided that these questions were important enough, this information was so valuable that we wanted it to be the foundation of how we lived our lives and really wanted to learn more. So this led us to the Chinmaya Ashram in Trinidad, where there was a 2-year Vedanta course under Swami Prakashananda. And this was a really incredible opportunity and incredible experience. We lived in the traditional Gurukula system and as students, and really kind of surrendered to the experience. I left my job as a medical trainee and we went there. And we studied from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. We did a lot of work around the ashram, and we really learned a lot about our scriptures. We learned about why. We actually learned the language in the primary text and studied. And even more than the academic pursuit of our studies, every bit of action that we did while we were at the ashram was infused with the lectures we had just heard. So really learning how to live the talk. And this was such a valuable experience as I now continue as a father, as a parent, as a husband, as a physician, as a son, in all my different roles, and how to really take this valuable knowledge that our gurus have given us and really apply and live it. It was a really wonderful experience. I'd be happy to share more about it. Hari Om.
I offer my deepest gratitude and reverence to Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda and to the Chinmaya Mission. We owe to Adi Shankaracharya for reviving the Sanatana Dharma. Similarly, we owe it to Gurudev for bringing the Sanatana Dharma to our homes and into our lives through the teaching of Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads to the common man. I feel blessed to be part of our study group. The systematic study of books, over the years, and listening to many acharyas has given me the clarity to the subject matter of our scriptures. Following this path, I feel more equipped to face the challenges of life with more acceptance and compassion. With these blessings, I am hoping to continue the study and follow the path is laid down by Gurudev. I feel he is there with us as a divine force, guiding us every step of the way. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om. I am Sarita Vasam, and I'm been a Balavihar Sevika and also a language class Sevika for the past 9 years. And my first daughter went through Balavihar and she graduated like a couple of years ago. And my younger kids, 2 of them are right now, they're students of Balavihar. And what Chinmaya Mission gives me and my family is a place that we all get together every week and we learn so many shastras, so many culture that we bring from India, and also the chantings that we learn, and including all the languages that are offered here. Bringing up kids over here in this country that is so culturally different from how we grew up, it is such a blessing to be in company of this extended family that shares the spiritual values that we grew up with, like in India. And not only that, like, talking to other sevaks, sevikas in the hallways or anywhere, like even the elders in this group, it's just an enriching experience where everyone is so encouraging, where like everyone has smiles all the time and everyone is very positive. And some of the lessons that I've learned not only help me help me deal with my kids at home, but also my kids over here in my Telugu classes, in my second grade Balavihar classes. And that's the second part. Being a Sevika is like such a privilege where I get to be like a small part of, the spiritual journey of all these little kids where they are starting so young. And I deal with second graders, so it's such a pleasure. And that too we play with them, we sing along with them, we are like always having fun, but at the same time we are also learning. It is like a sadhana in itself where I am also learning a lot from the kids. It's wonderful to just be in the class with them actually. And the third part is I get to be a student.
I'm Advait. I'm 8 years old. I like Balavihar because there's many fun activities to do. At Balavihar, I enjoyed listening to the stories in class, doing arts and crafts, and I make many friends here. I learn Hindi here, and I really like that I can speak with watchmen, vegetable vendors, and others when I visit my grandparents. I can also read signs, shop names, and boards in Hindi. Also, the bus boards written in Hindi. I really like when Swamijis come to our Chinmaya Triveni. Even though I don't understand everything they say, I always learn something new. They're always so kind and approachable. Favorite food in Balavihar is idli and vade.
Hari Om, I'm Monica and I'm in 6th grade. I recently went to Krishnalaya last year and I'm going to tell you about my experience there. One of my many favorite things there was the food. The food was so good, there's no explanation needed. Other than the food, the Bhajan Sandhya is also something I really enjoyed. Everyone sang such beautiful songs and sang along too. Another of my favorites is when we went on a hike to the river. It was really fun. The water felt both cold and nice on my feet and was a nice hike. The last 2 things I'd like to tell you about is going stargazing. We looked up at the beautiful sky laying on the ground, pointing out all the stars and constellations. The last of my favorite of all is the friends I made there. After all the classes, we would meet up and play. Most mornings, me and my friends, we would wake up early and take my dad along with us to adventure to camp and go on many trails. In the end, it was a very fun trip, and I enjoyed.
Hari Om, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about my experience in Chinmaya Summer Camp. The camp taught me spiritual things in a fun and interactive way. For example, they taught me the 12 Shiva temples by putting bindis on a map. They also taught us how to draw a rangoli and how to paint the Kailasha. I really missed the camp last year because it reinforces my values that are taught in my Bala Vihar class. Bala Vihar is like a second home to me because I've been coming here for like the past 9 years, ever since I was 2. I'm like every Sunday that there is no Bala Vihar, I feel like there's a gap since coming here every day is like a routine to me now. And if this is like my Bala Vihar family, I can't imagine my life without it. Hari Om.
Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om.
My name is Kunal.
My name is Siddharth, and today we'll be your MCs for this Bhajan Anjali program.
We would like to warmly welcome all of you today at the Chinmaya Mission Sacramento Center, Triveni, for the Bhajan Anjali program.
As you all know, we are celebrating Chinmaya Amrit Mahotsav, marking the completion of 75 years of Chinmaya Mission. Kunal, can you believe that my grandma turned 75 years old just a week ago? It's crazy how long 75 years is. That's 3 generations.
Wow, Siddharth, that's really cool.
As we celebrate 75 years of Chinmaya Mission, we remember how it all began with one person's vision, Puja Gurudev's vision.
Slowly but surely, that vision grew across the world, reaching many different countries and different cities.
Here at Chinmaya Mission Sacramento, we are also going to be contributing through our Bhajan Anjali program.
सोनी उस देवी कुन मन मोनी सोने दी मुरली सोनी उस देवी कुन जोगिया मेरे गलियाई कृष्ण नाम का जोगिया मेरे गलियाई कृष्ण नाम का मेरे गलियाई में बहु सुख पाई मेरे गलियाई में बहु सुख पाई जोगिया 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 मेरे गलियाई कृष्ण नाम का जोगिया मेरे गलियाई कृष्ण नाम का गुरु चरणन मन लागा लागा रे गुरु चरणन मन लागा गुरु चरणन मन लागा लागा रे गुरु चरणन मन लागा जन्म जन्म का सोया बड़ा मन जन्म जन्म का सोया बड़ा मन शब्द सुनत अब जागा जागा रे शब्द सुनत अब जागा गुरु चरणन मन लागा लागा रे गुरु चरणन मन लागा गुरु चरणन मन लागा लागा रे गुरु चरणन मन लागा
I want to know the truth. Who? Swami Shivananda sent you. We have his letter. He just asked me to meet you. What? Swamiji, he just told me to see you. Why? I've been initiated into sannyas recently and... You heard what I said. Go get the letter and come back. Swamiji, do you think he was lying? No, he spoke the truth. Then why did you send him away? This knowledge is precious. It has to be taken, not given. Let's see how sincere he is. I saw he was a mumukshu. I know he will come back. But this journey would make him more keen and alert to love.
तमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्री आनन्दकृष्णाय नमः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवसुतं देवं तं सचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ॐ केशवाय स्वाहा ॐ नारायणाय स्वाहा ॐ माधवाय स्वाहा ॐ गोविन्दाय स्वाहा.
Now we will do pranayama. संकल्पः मम उपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा श्री परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थं शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते आद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीय परार्धे श्वेतवराह कल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे ऐन्द्रखण्डे शान्त समुद्रस्य तीरे पश्चिम दिग्भागे अमेरिकन नदी तटे सैक्रामेंटो नगरे चिन्मय त्रिवेणी आश्रमे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादि षष्ठी संवत्सराणां मध्ये विश्वावसु नाम संवत्सरे उत्तरायणे शिशिर ऋतौ मकर मासे कृष्णपक्षे सप्तमी शुभ तिथौ भानुवासर युक्तायां स्वाति नक्षत्र युक्तायां शुभयोग शुभकरण सकल विशेषण विशिष्टायां अस्माकं सह सहकुटुम्बानां
क्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुः आरोग्य ऐश्वर्य अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं समस्त मंगल अवाप्त्यर्थं समस्त दुरित उपशान्त्यर्थं विद्या विनय प्राप्त्यर्थं ज्ञान भक्ति वैराग्य सिद्ध्यर्थं श्री सद्गुरु प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थं च यावत् शक्ति ध्यान आवाहनादि षोडशोपचारैः परम पूज्य श्री गुरुदेवानां श्री चिन्मयानंद स्वामिनां पादुक पूजां करिष्ये समस्त
जनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः श्रीगुरुं आवाहयामि
आसनम्
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः आसनार्थे पुष्पं समर्पयामि पाद्यं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः पाद्यं समर्पयामि अर्घ्यं स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि आचमनीयं चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः आचमनीयं समर्पयामि स्नानं सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो यः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्री
ಪುರುಷ ಸೂಕ್ತ.
तच्चयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजम् शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलम् पुरुष एवेदगुं सर्वम् यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् भूतामृतत्वस्येशानः यदन्येनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो ज्यायादिश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्व उदैर्पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनादशने अभि तस्मात् विराड जायत विराजो अधिपूरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वत वसन्तो अस्यासीदाज्यम् ग्रीष्महिद्मः शरद्धविः सप्तास्यासन् परिधयः त्रिसप्तसमिधः कृताः देवा यज्ञं तन्वानाः अबध्नन् पुरुषं पशुं तैयज्ञं बर्हिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्या ऋषयश्च ये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः सम्भृतं पृषदाज्यम् पशुभृस्तादिश्चक्रे वायव्यान् आरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः ऋषः सामानि जज्ञिरे छन्दागुंसि जज्ञिरे तस्मात् यजुस्तस्मादजायत तस्मादश्वा अजायन्त एकेचो भयादतः गावो जज्ञिरे तस्मात् तस्मात् जाता अजावयः यत्पुरुषं व्यददुः तदिताव्यकल्पयन् मुखं किमस्य कौ बाहु काबूरुपादा उच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यकृतः ऊरु तदस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागुं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षो सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणात् वायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीदन्तरिक्षम् तीक्ष्णोऽद्यौ समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिशश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागुमकल्पयन् वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा विवरण्यदास्ते भ्राता पुरस्ताद्यमुदाग्रहार शक्रप्रविद्वान् प्रदिशश्च तस्रः तमेवं विद्वान् अमृत इव भवति नान्यः पन्था अयनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः तानि धर्माणि प्रथमान्यासन् ते अनाथं महिमानः सचन्ते यत्र पूर्वे साध्या सन्ति देवाः अद्य सम्भूतः पृथिव्यैरसाश्च विश्वकर्मणः समवर्तताहि तस्य त्वष्टा विदधद्रूपमेति तत्पुरुषस्य विश्वमायानमग्रे वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् यमेवं विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते यनाय प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भे अन्तः अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते तस्य धीरा परिजानन्ति योनिम् मरीचीनां पदमिच्छन्ति वेधसः यो देवेभ्य आतपति यो देवानां पुरोहितः पूर्वो यो देवेभ्यो जातः नमो रुचाय ब्राह्मये रुचं ब्राह्मं जनयन्तः देवा अग्रे तदब्रुवन् यस्वैवं ब्राह्मणो विद्यात् तस्य देवा असन्वशे प्रीष्यते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्यौ अहोरात्रे पार्श्वे नक्षत्राणि रूपम् अश्विनौ व्याप्तम् इष्टं मनिषाण अमुं मनिषाण सर्वं मनिषाण तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वन्ति गातु भेषजम् शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदेः शङ्खपुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः चैतन्य शाश्वत शान्तः व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः वस्त्रं समर्पयामि गन्धं ज्ञानशक्ति समारूढः तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः दिव्यगन्धान् धारयामि गन्धस्य उपरि हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमं समर्पयामि अक्षता अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविनाशिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै पुष्पम् शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोः पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः पुष्पैः पूजयामि पुष्पमालां धारयामि
श्री स्वामी चिन्मयानंद अष्टोत्तर शतनामावली। ओम अजाय नमः, ओम अव्ययाय नमः, ओम अविनाशिने नमः, ओम अचिन्त्याय नमः, ओम अप्रमेयाय नमः, ओम अद्वितीयाय नमः, ओम अनिकेताय नमः, ओम अनुशासनप्रियाय नमः, ओम अन्तःसाक्षिणे नमः, ओम अन्तर्यामिने नमः, ओम आनन्दाय नमः, ओम आत्मस्वरूपाय नमः, ओम आङ्ग्लभाषाविदुत्तमाय नमः, ओम ईश्वराय नमः, ओम उदारहृदयाय नमः, ओम उत्साहवर्धकाय नमः, ओम एकस्मै नमः, ओम
न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः धूपमाग्रापयामि दीपं मन्नाथ श्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ॐ श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः दीपं संरक्षयामि नैवेद्यम् ॐ सच्चिन्मयाय विद्महे गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात् ॐ श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि ॐ प्राणाय स्वाहा ॐ अपानाय स्वाहा ॐ ज्ञानाय स्वाहा ॐ उदानाय स्वाहा ॐ समानाय स्वाहा ॐ ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा नभस्सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् नेमाविद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः ॐ श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः मङ्गलनीराजनं समर्पयामि प्रदक्षिण नमस्कारः गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः प्रार्थना त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव पतिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नानीकनिकाशपदाहृदाभ्यां नानाविमोहादिनिवारिकाभ्यां नमज्जनाभीष्टततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नृपाणिमौली व्रजरत्नकान्ति सहित विराज शशकन्यकाभ्यां नृपद्वदाभ्यां नतलोकपङ्क्ते नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां पापान्धकारार्कपरम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयानीन्द्रतधेश्वराभ्यां जर्यादिसंशोषणमाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां समाधिषट्कप्रदवैभवाभ्यां समाधिदानव्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां रमारमाङ्घ्रिस्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां स्वाच्छापराणामखिलेशदाभ्यां स्वाहा सहायाक्षधुरन्धराभ्यां स्वान्ताक्षभावप्रदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां कामादिसर्पव्रजदारुणाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां
Swami will lead and all children can repeat, do the repeat now.